Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are back with another episode of Kerbal Space Program. We are going to renew our effort to get to the moon. So let's see, do we have anything? What is the last ship we built? We had, let's see, these guys with the escape things. I don't think I'd use them. This guy I don't need multiples of, nor do I need multiples of this or this. I can notice right now it is missing some solar panels that would be needed. Let's see. There we go, 3 I guess. So we want to get this thing all the way up. So I don't want to use that. How is this thing? This isn't right. This isn't going to work. We need a tiny little lander to land on the moon. We don't need a giant facility. So let's rethink this. What is a medium-sized tank is probably still too much. A tiny tank with a tiny little engine, and then let's see. Do we really want to use the Mark 1? I guess that's all we have that we can use. So this is going to make an incredibly difficult mission here, because I'm going to have to then use this to couple. So it's like, I'm not talking a tiny little bit of stack decoupler. I think that is what we're looking for. Not a and from that decoupler we'll put these on the side. Just look at those. But it's not a decoupler that I'm looking for, it's something else. It's called something else. Service bay, storage container, no, it's not those things. It's where do I just not have it unlocked? Do I have no docking ports unlocked? That's what they're called, docking ports. I have no docking ports. So the thought of using anything there is out. We don't have any of them unlocked. So this entire giant thing has got to be what we use. We don't need super powerful thing. We can use the poodle on this just fine. And then we need to put the landing legs on this, like this. It's always a good idea to expose that and then see if you can move this down as much as you can possibly do it. There you go. Apparently that's as much as you can possibly do it. They're not even technically connected in any real sense, but alright. If the game thinks that works, then the game thinks that works. And that gives us more of a chance to not break this thing. Now we need the real thrust. We need a decoupler. We need a big old thing of fuel. Move this up. And with that big old thing of fuel, we want the thing that can give us the max amount of thrust. That's 160, I think, where this is 500. So obviously the skipper is the best one we can do. And we're just gonna hope that all of that works. Gonna put this here. Gonna put these kickbacks here. And so we've got the kickbacks, and then we've got this should be with the kickbacks, and then we've got these, which should be here. Remember, we're gonna have to do a lot of quick saving on this because there's not a lot of chance that we're going to be able to get this thing on the first try. Make sure we have crewed it with our engineer and our scientist, and we need more parachutes. Parachutes, where are the parachutes? Radial parachutes at the base of the important parts. Place that there. Alright. Unable to launch, you cannot afford the vehicle to launch this vessel. Yeah. So we need some money. Let's go ahead and save. And you're supposed to title this. The fact that it just doesn't automatically number this and say spacecraft number 1, spacecraft number 2. All of that is really, really ridiculous. This is 33 or 39. I don't think we are much off of that. So the available ones are, we cancel that, cancel that one, cancel that one, cancel that one, cancel that one. Cancel that one. How much funding? Trying to look for the moon ones. Since we're going to the moon, it would make sense to have a contract that said, do something on the moon. But we're rejecting so many. Send science data from around Kerbal? We can do that. Perform visual surveys and the temperature scan around the moon. There we go. We go to satellite 1 and we... Where are you, satellite 1? Oh, you're in the darkness. Never mind. Let's see. Where's the thermometer? Status blocked by carbon. Speed this up so we're in the sunlight. Here's the thermometer. Log temperature and transmit. Not enough to charge. Speed that up. Transmit. And we're done. And then that means one of our contracts should be done. Back to the Space Center. So we have 184,000 now. Temperature scans of the moon. Oh shoot. Did I take one that said something like that? Yep. Yeah. That's gonna be a nightmare. Whatever, we'll do it anyways. We've taken these moon missions that we probably can't accomplish. Almost certainly, but whatever. We're ending this series if we can get to the moon and back. As far as I'm concerned, I think that's a fair enough representation of what playing Kerbal Space Center is in its 1.0 version. It's 1.0 version, I say with the test because it still is not to that level in my opinion. There's definitely... Okay, I forgot the guys. Forgot to put the guys in. Good thing I noticed that right then. I've played this in earlier versions a lot farther. In fact, I was just recently went back and looked at an old save, and I have flags and ships on practically every planet in the solar system. I've done this It's not, I'm not trying to say I'm good at it or anything, because I definitely obviously am not. It's just, it's also a factor of I've I don't feel I need to play it again. I don't feel I need, just because it's 1.0 version, to go to every single planet that has only been halfway developed, that is missing sections and climates still, I'm sure, because I'm certain they're going to add more. I'm certain they're always going to be adding more. They need to add more. Just, even on Kerbal. Kerbal should be a rich area in which you have the opportunity to really, really make it to. I don't think I have enough of these. I'm not going as fast as I should be. Maybe I should put another 3, and then have them fire. Because we're about to hit I mean, I like 3 going off at the beginning, that's the right speed. It's just, it's not burning enough. And then we're spinning. Maybe we will make it all the way up. That'd be interesting. What is our upper axis gonna be? 24? Hardly. That is hardly all the way up. But we're still going up. Yeah, I see, we're about to stop now. So let's go ahead and fire. I don't know if I'm on the right position now. I don't know if I'm going east. Let's see. We've got this fuel. It is running out. We are expanding this to be higher and wider. And we're facing totally, I think, the wrong direction. Yep. Total wrong direction. So, let's try to adjust this and rotate our burn. I'm about to run out of fuel. Alright, and with that, we're now at the landing stage, and this is the burn that was supposed to probably not use any of this if we can help it to get to the actual point we want to get to. We don't want to use any of it to land on the moon. We want to save it all to get off the moon. No pressure data, nothing here. Nothing here. If only I had that 300 science. If only I had that 300 science. Right, so where did that get us? Almost a total orbit. Pretty high orbit. it's still very twisted. So, revert to vehicle assembly. Right. So I want to place a second set of Rydo. Second set of radial decouplers right here. 3. And then a second set of thuds. These go here, and then we fire that, and then we get rid of those, and launch. Ah, shoot. Darn it. We are really running into these problems. We are really running into problems. Could we upgrade it? Not enough funds. What could we do to... I mean, we've got to get rid of one rocket, or we could get rid of... We could change it from being thuds. Maybe we can change it from being thuds and instead used just thumpers. Maybe that will work. Can we launch this? Yes, we can. Alright, so we use some thuds to get us up there, and then some thumpers to get us a little bit further. See if this works. Keep an eye on this ball while I still can, so I go the right direction, since we're spinning quite a lot here. I'm kind of wondering if this extra weight, yeah, that extra weight has caused some trouble. So we've got negative vertical thrust, revert to the assembly. What did we do wrong there? Center of mass. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why it wanted to spin that way. I forgot to turn on the SAS and the RCS. That's about the only thing I think I forgot to do. This still should be very balanced. The only thing that's really off balance is these little research things that have never given me any trouble. Not hitting any buttons, not trying to do anything else. And as we start to slow down, we can see there's definitely some problems going on here. That those are way lighter than what we've been having an issue with. And we're facing straight down. And the RCS and all that's not going to fix that too much. There we go. But we burned facing straight down. We have negative velocity, and that burn did nothing to help us. Absolutely nothing to help us. Let's see. Revert to launch. When we will put this all the way down here, and then we want to just burn the littlest amount of rocket control. Throttle. Putting some wings on this might actually be a smarter move too. Just use some wings. Keep it going straight. We're burning through our fuel just to maintain our flight trajectory. If that's the right phrase, I think it is. Just to make sure we go straight up and don't spin around. Well, that didn't work. That blew off the engine. Why did it blow up the engine? No real reason. It really is just no real reason. Same thing over again. We're burning. Let's see. This time the engine's not engaged. We're gonna engage it later. Which probably is the best way to do it. It's just, I mean, what is this doing? It's like, what is this unruly, unmanageable ship doing? Just... It makes no sense at all. I'm burning at max just to get back up to this point, just to get to activate this, which gives me more thrust. But I'm almost out of fuel now, so what, I can cut the fuel? No, I can't cut the fuel. I'm falling. I'm falling. I've got, again, vertical momentum. Just now, I used the last bit of my fuel to get to this point. Is it the mobile processing lab? Can we just not take that with us? I think we have to experiment with this. Revert to the vehicle assembly. If we take the mobile processing lab out of the connection, we take this, set it aside, and then we take this, set it aside, and we take this, get rid of that, take this, put this here, find the new center of gravity, and put that here. Is this the right way to do it? I have no scientist. Now we're gonna go to the moon, we're gonna do the experiments once, and then that's gonna be it. With one pilot. That was a terrible flight. We haven't crashed in a long time. We have not crashed in a long time. Fire. This might actually work. This might actually work. Of course, we don't have a landing gears, so we'll need to probably revert to assembly at some point to fix that. With the mobile processing off, I might also be able to just put some more of these instead of these and really get some thrust. We're getting stress on this. Alright. So now we're burning horizontal and downward and having trouble. There's something just about the imbalance of these two. Something just about the way it is. So we definitely need landing gears. Let's see. Landing gears here. Let's see. Oh, actually, I already have the landing gears, so I didn't need to add that. Well, then let's just try adding some of these. It's too heavy. It's just too heavy. Let's try a double. So instead of doing 3, let's do 2. do math is accurate, this should work. These two, then these two, then these two, and then whatever. See if this works. That's gonna be less thrust, but less weight. Kind of a little bit of the best of both worlds. See, ours. See, so you see it with two, it is taking a lot of time just to get to defeat gravity. A lot of time, actually. Sometimes when I see liftoffs like that, I'm perfectly fine with them. Sometimes when I see liftoffs like that, I see a problem. But we are obviously still in the thickest part of the atmosphere. So spending all of this just to get this far, it's probably not efficient. So we get rid of that, and then we can wait. Just wait till this starts to fall. Launch that. Seems very controlled right now. There's undeniably some control going on. Did I just put... No, there's three. For a second there I thought there was only one parachute. It sounds like we might have broken something down there. If I worked at a place like NASA, I would be sick every day there was a launch. I'd be like, I'm not gonna be anywhere near this launch site. I'm gonna go hide in a bunker. And we have this again. This nasty bit. Where we get rid of those. Yeah, and we need to start fire. Just want to slow down the throttle as long as it's slightly creeping up, we're going to throttle down. I want to use less and less of my fuel. And so we are right at that point now. We're halfway with our fuel. What is our upper axis going to be? 23. It's growing and growing and growing. We could start tilting right on that eastern hemisphere. Slow down that throttle and begin the tilt. Notice if you can see these numbers, they were going down very slowly, and now they're going back up. And more they go up, the more and more I slow down. Where are we now? upper axis of about 40, and it is widening. So we'll slow down. The inertia here has pointed us further. So let's get right here at 40,000. We are sort of in orbit at this point. Sort of. It's not very good. We don't have very much fuel. This could be maybe a mission to the moon and not come back if it worked. But we've got downward momentum, so we need to speed up. We're falling faster than we're going perpendicular. So there's just not enough fuel. Just not enough fuel on this ship. This ship. So, let's see, can we get this to work? And not make it so heavy? Or do we need to just go get bailouts? Is that the real trick here? Are we just not capable? Stop giving me trouble. There we go. If I take... I don't think that worked very well. So what I'm gonna do is take this out. And then turn it into 4 and put it there. Let's see. Save. How much does it cost to upgrade this? Buggy is all good. Let's see. 282,000 to upgrade this. If we go over here and bail out, how much can we bail out? Seems like 25% to get another 8,000 things. Let's just do it. Sell a reputation. That's as much as we can. Is science bailout? Sell our science for money, or recover the vehicle. That's all we can do. And the science is just going to give us a little bit of funds. We are stuck. We can't take any more available contracts, thus we can't get any more money. We would have to work our way through these contracts to have enough money to be able to launch this ship, which let's see, what was the difference? Just this fuel tank? Maybe if we can just take one of these fuel tanks here instead. Can we launch that? Yes. Man, we're just pushing it. Just pushing it with the funds, with everything. It's irritating. Let's see. I mean, really, just really irritating. I'm not seeing in this career mode a real path in which you can actually play if you don't know the exact things you're supposed to do. This is beyond even most players are going to need a strategy guide. Most players are going to need an expert to sit here and tell them the exact thing to do and really just play the game for them. This one might work. Rid of those. We're gonna get very much higher on that. Our apparatus, just to start off with, is gonna be 3,800. So I don't want to do anything until 3,500 if I can convince myself to not even do that much. Let's see. Alright, we're at 35. Let's start. Alright, we are burning at the slowest right now. We are past this. Let's see. I'm up to full throttle and we're trying to widen this and get it as high as possible. You can see the Apple axis is getting closer to me after I'm ahead of it. That means I'm getting higher. For this stage, we are running up. We have still got a decent amount of fuel. Probably want to stay within 30 seconds of this. You normally would, at least. Maybe cut the engines and start again? Maybe not. Almost high enough at this point. Almost high enough. Alright, so it's time to move this towards the horizon to widen it out and connect it. It's high enough now. It's actually considerably high enough. We're almost out of fuel. we are getting a nice wide uh, well, let's see. We didn't burn, I guess, enough to the edge. So we can decouple this section. And we've got our lander. Our tiny, tiny lander here. Let's see what we can do. Add a maneuver here. Set this as our target. Click on this maneuver and expand prograde until we are within it. And then twist it so that we might actually come in connection with it. Wait, that's working. It's working. These 2 points are getting closer. There we go. We want to get as close as possible to it. No. So right there where it starts to tilt wonky. Highly technical term here. Right there when it starts to tilt wonky. And there we go. And what is the burn there? The burn there is 10 minutes. So, what? Let's see. And how do you warp? It's gonna take me 16 minutes to get there. We want to be on the target of this path when we get to it. This blue one. Let's see, which one's the blue one though? I don't think I have a good enough pilot to would allow me to automatically stay locked onto the blue one. So I'm gonna have to manually do it. Warp to next maneuver. It's here. And there. We're going to try and get this to work. I just want to burn ever so slowly if we have any chance of this working. And stay inside this blue target. We need to come very close to it. Pretty much if I'm in the sphere of influence of the the moon, I need to stop at that point and then wait till I get into the sphere of influence and then slow down, because I don't want to spend any extra fuel trying to get closer at this point to it when I can just slow down. Come on. Come on. There we go. Quick save. So let's tidy up things here and get rid of this maneuver node. Right now this is going to slingshot me into a very strange maneuver. We're going to barely even hit it, but we're going to slow down, so we want to see. That's going to take 2 days in their time. Warp here. Alright, now, very quickly, we need to find retrograde and fire up. Find it and fire that ship up. As we get retrograde, we're trying for a full orbit. Look at all these things that we have missions to do. Closing that gap. Is that a landing maneuver? Yes, it is. So that's all we need to do now is try and land it. Quick save. We've got this much fuel. Can we get on the moon? Let's see. Let's go ahead and warp. How long is this going to take? At 10x or 4x, 5x. This is gonna take a while. I'm moving very slowly, obviously, and there's very little gravity in the moon. So, let's see, right there. Nope. Speeding up. Speeding up. We are coming down, and we're gonna come down. We can go ahead and pretty much release the gears right now. There's no oxygen in the moon. Here's where we're gonna land. All we need to do is slow ourselves down when we get closer. We're coming in at 500 meters per second, which is quite a lot. Unfortunately, I think we're going to lose Jebediah here. I think Jebediah is going to give his life. This is going to turn out to be the tale of the death of Jebediah, because it's, what can I say, it's just not going to work. We're not going to have enough fuel to get back to Kerbal. play back at normal speed. We are at 80,000 meters. Notice as we get under 60 and 70,000 meters, we're not going to run into an atmosphere, not oxygen, but atmosphere. So there will be no atmosphere to slow us down. There will be no atmosphere for the parachute to work on. Now would probably be a good time to do a crew report, log pressure data, and take temperature. We'll keep that. And what did the crew report say? Space near the moon? Yeah, that's a new one. Log pressure, yep. Take temperature. Oh, we already did that. So we would, typically if we had science people, we'd take these experiments out too. But that's all we can do right now. We're at 40,000 meters and there has been no atmosphere. 30,000, nothing. Let's go ahead and quick save. We're going to be doing a lot of quick savings. And hopefully not that much quick loading. 13,000 meters is about where I'd want to, and we're coming on the dark side of the moon, so that's only going to make it more difficult to see. It's pretty much pitch black here. I can see little mountaintops, and that's it. So it's time to start slowing down. At 700 meters per second, it's really time to start slowing down. We don't want to go full upward, but we definitely don't want to be going as fast as we are. There we go. We almost started going upward there. We're at 14 meters per second as we fall downward. 25 meters per second. It is incredibly painful landing on the moon because you have to start doing things like this, and I don't have enough fuel to really do it. But yeah, I'm at 10,000 meters. Does that mean there's really 10,000 meters below me, or does that mean there's like 5 meters below me? I don't know. The moon in particular is so pot-marked with craters. You could be 5 seconds from hitting the surface, you could be 5 minutes from hitting the surface. It's very difficult to tell, and even more difficult in the dark. All we can do is keep going down. Quick saving. That might have been a mistake. This means I have this tiny amount of fuel to try and land this. Tiny amount of fuel. I'm going 100 meters per second. That's too much. We'll start burning. At least we'll kind of know what the height is if we crash. We're getting down to 50 meters per second. It's still the same speed you want. You still want to be around below 20 meters per second when you land. You really down. Oh, we're going up now. We burned too much. So we're just gently hovering over the surface, and I'm sorry, it's dark. I wish this game was like Minecraft where you could just turn on the sun and see it at all times. But we're falling 4,000 meters. And going up, certainly not going to help anything. Crew report? Nope, nothing yet. 3,000 meters sounds about right. Slow down a little bit. Just using the last bit of our fuel. Oh, it's no good. It's no good. And that's our fuel. At 2,500 meters, we are now free falling with no chance to no ability to change what happens. We've just broken our legs and our ship, but we broke our landing struts, we broke our landing struts, and we broke our engine and our fuel tank. But we're on the moon. Let's, before we do anything else, just warp. And hopefully we can get the sun to come out. Or are we on the dark side of the moon always? And that means we're never gonna see the sun. There we go. So, there's a landing strut over there. And some more debris. We're just sitting on our nose. But we made it. Log some pressure data. Log some temperature data. Observe the mystery goo from the Mars Midlands, and observe the material bays from the Mars Midlands, and let's see, crew report, nope, EVA, let's see, EVA report, Mars Midlands. Just let go before that makes trouble. Notice a little hop here. Let's collect that data and take the data, log the pressure data. Crew report, store experiments, take a surface sample and an EVA report, and let's plant a flag right here. That's one small step for Kerbal and one small step for Jebediah Kerbal, and one giant leap for Kerbinkind. So that is the moon landing. Question mark? No, it should be parentheses as a quotation mark. The moon quote unquote landing. take the data from that. Let's see. And let's get back in the hatch. So we've collected that. So we can log temperature again from the temperature scan. We can log pressure data, and we can review this data here. So, you know what I really forgot to do? Is I really forgot to put an antenna on this thing and some solar cells. And so let's review the reports. This report here, a crew report from space near the moon, is 15 science. Review the stored data. This one is 24 science if we got it. But if we transmitted it, it would be about half that. So take a note of that. This mystery goo observation is 40 science. If we transmitted it, it would be 12. This atmosphere pressure scan is 36 science. If we transmitted it, it would be about 18. So if we send a probe here, the EVA report's the same either way. Here's one. Surface sampled from the moon, 120 science. But we would, if we transmitted it, it would only be so much. 120 science. So 32 science here for the EVA report. You're talking about 250 to 300 to 350 science is sitting in this vessel right now. Unfortunately, there's no way to get it back. And if I transmitted it, if I had sent a probe instead of Jebediah Kerman, which arguably is the right thing, that would have maybe gotten us to the point of potentially getting us to the, let's see, we will recover that debris, why not? It would potentially get us to this point, yeah, maybe, because we only need 120 more. Yeah, so probably if we had sent a probe and sent that out, we would have been able to do that. Let's see, does the Science Center, when we go to the moon, automatically mark the things we've done science for, or only the things we have collected science for? Let's see. No, it doesn't look like it's going to count any of that until we got back, which makes sense. So we can't get enough funds to upgrade this. Because we can't get enough funds to upgrade this, we can't build enough of a powerful of a rocket ship to send what we really would like to send up to the moon, which would have been the exact same flight we just did. So if you were getting the feeling that I could not actually get a ship into the moon and land it on there, you just saw that I can. Is it a great system? No. Am I good at it? Not even good. I'm fully aware of that. This ship is still on its path to eventually crashing into the... We got a satellite in orbit. We got a thing on the moon. the satellite in the orbit is really the first thing you should try to achieve as your goal. And then you should try to get to the moon. And then you should try to get to Minmus. And then you should try to get to Eve would be better than trying to go to Duna. And then maybe Moho. And then maybe, which one is this one after? I don't even see it. It's so tiny. Here it is. Dress. And then maybe you try to get to Jewel. And if you're trying to be a real expert, you get to Echo. And eventually you would want to send a probe to the sun to be in near orbit around the sun. Pretty much you have to crash into the sun. The gravity is so high you cannot get a speed fast enough to have a stable orbit with the amount of fuel you would need. So, yeah, we did it. We made it to the moon. Now, what you would have to do, from this point, I hope this is the right one. Nope, this isn't even the right one. That's some other ship I got stranded. Sorry about that. From this point, you have stranded Jebediah Kerman, landed on the moon. You cannot get this back. There's nothing I can do to get this back to Earth. If we quick load and we're back to our last quick save, we have the tiniest amount of fuel. Let's say we fast forward and we fall straight down and it somehow doesn't just destroy our ship, which it will. Do we have enough fuel at that point? If we land perfectly, don't break the engine, don't break the fuel, don't break anything at all. See, it's probably needed to put a different system of the lander legs. These lander legs, remember, we put them as low as possible, and there's just nothing that can be done. Suppose you could try and land on your head for some silly reason. That would be kind of funny, but that's not going. That might save your engine, but it'd probably kill your crew, and you'd still be facing the wrong direction. We'll try it. A full prograde landing. Just turn that way and try to use that as the way to land. Now, when you do something like this, usually the first time you land is going to tell you the exact height of where you need to be, and then that second. So 2154. So if we know the exact height of this point in the ship is at 2154, we can use that to slow ourselves down a little bit. Let's see. That was too late. Under 4,000 it starts to really mess with you. So 2154, it's literally just 400 meters. At least you'll get to see me potentially land this thing softer than what you normally would do. There we go. We are on the surface of the moon. Hovering over terrain. We are not hovering over terrain. We are landed. Let's see. Crew report. No good there. Log pressure data. No good there. Log temperature. No good there. Observe the mystery goo. From the Midlands. Store that. Observe the science bay. Store that. So, retract the gears. Don't have any lights. I think all my gears are broken. EVA. EVA space just above that. Let's see. Take that data. Take that data. Speed up time now so we can see ourselves. There we go. So repair the leg. Level 3 is required. You used to be able to do this by yourself. EVA report. So I can't repair these legs. They're stuck and broken. I think the engine's fine though. So in theory, I could get, let's go ahead and plant a flag while we're here. I can actually land it. It is possible to do that. Alright. Let's see. Store experiments, crew report, and board. Log that pressure data again. log that temperature data again. You want to do as much as you can. Bring back as much as you could. If you could. Crew report. That's it. So I have a tiny amount of fuel. And that's it. That gets us where? On this planet. It gets us nowhere. There's no way we were going to make it off this. We could have potentially, if we had a 100% full tank, maybe made it off the planet with what we have here. But we needed more fuel. We needed more rockets, which means we needed more funds for a heavier launch platform. We needed more everything. This is just going to push us right up and then down, right back down, and however long it takes us to get back down, the planet will have shifted ever so slightly. And then we're right back to where we were. We would have been better using our RCS to just move ourselves. You can press forward on the RCS and cause yourself to crash, which might get you into, say, this crater. It's really, really jittery now, but let's turn the RCS off. That's bugged out. And Jebediah Kerman is dead. Abort that mission. And to the Space Center we go. That's to the moon. That's what your first experience of getting to the moon would be. I would highly recommend sending out a satellite instead of Jebediah. So you can click Jebediah here, missing in action, click that exit, and then just close it. And after I think a day, because you cannot lose Jebediah, Bill, Bob, or Valentina, you will get him back, but you will be at level 0. You can definitely lose all of these guys that you hire. So keep that in mind. Pretty much means you don't ever want to play with anybody except for your main guys until they are at max level, and at that point then maybe consider doing something else. Let's see. Debris here, debris here, debris here, debris here. All kinds of debris that will never be able to be collected, so you just need to terminate it. Keep things nice looking on your map so you don't have a ton of things sitting around. We didn't get any of those missions. We weren't landed anywhere near where it would have been. This spacecraft, let's just fly this spacecraft and see if we can get it to crash at max warp. Since we're doing crashes today, this is as good of a point as any to really go and just show the problem of the Kerbal space program. This whole series has been just showing the problems of the game. It's too difficult. It's not intuitive in any sense of the word. It doesn't make you see for a second what you're supposed to be doing. It gives you really, really difficult challenges, like get in this exact orbit or dock with something that is very, very small. You can land on a planet a lot easier than you can land or rendezvous with a spacecraft. Rescue people that are lost in orbit, forget about it. just getting to the moon and back requires an incredible amount of fuel and parts, and particularly in career mode, they you're getting shown that it is limiting you in such a way. All my reputation is wrecked for that system, and I don't think I got much reputation, if any, in any of the things I accomplished. Most of my missions to that I did got me no reputation whatsoever. Uh, Contracts don't get you enough money for what you're doing. It's so limited. Absolutely do not play career mode until you have played this all the way through in sandbox mode, and then probably need to play it all the way through again in science mode, because that's really as limited as you want to be. It's just you have unlimited funds and you can build whatever you want to build, but the to get the parts you have to get science. Uh, so next episode we're going to be starting over again in science mode. We're done with the career mode series. Uh, we're going to do just the science mode, and again we're going to limit ourselves probably to just to the moon. This thing is still taking forever. Uh, Eventually, because we know, actually this might be in a stable orbit now. With an apoaxis of 90 meters, it got knocked out by Minmus. The gravity of Minmus pulled it in such a way that it will never actually crash. Now it's in permanent orbit until the sun explodes, I suppose, or burns out. Then that would definitely affect the gravity of the planets. But yeah, we're not going to have that air braking effect that I was hoping we would get. All different bodies affect everything. Anyways, that has nothing to do with what's going on here. We're going to start over on science mode and show the easier way. I keep doing this to you, and I need to apologize. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that we started with the tutorials and that was an incredibly difficult, painful experience. I'm sorry we did the scenarios, which were just incredibly difficult, painful experiences. I'm sorry that a lot of these episodes are true representations of playing on Kerbal Space Program, which means you don't accomplish what you're trying to do. You fail, and you fail, and you get very little reward, if any reward, to that. Anyways, though, in spite of that apology, I do ask you to stick through this. We're gonna just have a quick science run to give you the better way. The best way is the sandbox run, which we will get to at the very last, maybe. I don't know if we really even need to do the sandbox run. Just to get to the moon and back would be, okay, here's the best one I could quickly, here's the best ship I could quickly build of all the parts. But that's the end of this episode. As always, I ask you to like it, share it, subscribe to my channel, and comment on it, and watch every second of my videos, because all of that helps out. Give me those comments saying, yeah, I've had this exact same experience trying Kerbal Space Program, and it is frustrating. Let us if you want to support me, and I could definitely use the support, you can do that by clicking on my name, Rydo. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. And if you want to friend or favorite me on basically any social media site, I have a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching this. Thank you for going through it, and I hope you learned something. I learned a couple things on this new version. I'm still very frustrated with them calling this a 1.0 version when it's missing the tutorials. It's missing the gameplay mechanics that would make it a game that a normal person who has no prior knowledge or expertise could play this game. They have to get to that level before it can be a 1.0. I don't believe in the concept that you can have a finished product and then say it's so niche it's only for geniuses, or only for rocket scientists in this case. Uh, I don't buy that. I do not buy you can say a game is ready for public release and then say it's only for people who don't include the public. If it's ready for public release, public people should be able to play it. That simple. And we are not to that point on Kerbal Space Point program. I think they could get to that point if they work towards that goal and put a lot more progress, but it doesn't help to say you're done. It doesn't help to say you're done when you're halfway through a project or not finished with a project at any duration. That doesn't help. Thank you for watching this. Have a good evening.